So the next person is also using her story to try to help other people. In 2016, Alexa Randolph was ready to take on the world as a recent college graduate. Then a terrible car accident sidelined her life. Excuse me, when she was diagnosed with central pain syndrome. So since then, she has been an advocate for the invisible illnesses, and she joins us now to talk about more of her journey. Thank you, Alexa, for being with us here on the MegaCast.
Thanks so much for having me.
So I know we've talked to you once before. You're so young, but tell us about the accident and then your journey since the accident.
Yeah, so it was 2016, July, so right after I'd graduated in May. I was visiting family, and we were on our way home from dinner, and a lady ran a red light and T-boned us right on my car, or my side, which was the rear passenger. We got pushed like 40 feet and almost hit a gas station sign. My uncle was able to maneuver the car so we wouldn't hit it. I believe the other woman's car was totaled, and this was all from either texting and driving or distracted driving. I ended up walking away that night, not having to go to the hospital or anything. EMS had checked me out and said I was okay. A few days later, I was still just had a bad headache where I got hit and just dizzy and nauseous. So we saw my uncle's doctor, who told me it was just a sinus infection. I might have been getting one and it made it come out. I thought it was kind of weird, but he was the doctor. I ended up coming home and went to see my doctor, who I was told it was just depression, and I had neck issues, so I went to see a chiropractor. 4 months later, I was still in a lot of pain and I was having trouble concentrating. I finally got to see a neurologist who told me it was a concussion and post-concussion syndrome.
So Alexa, if I could stop you there.
Yeah.
If they had properly diagnosed you earlier, would you have been able to mitigate some of the ongoing issues you've had?
Probably, because they would have probably had me do certain, I flew a week after the accident. I don't know if I would have been allowed to do that had it been told. I'm sure there were steps and stuff for concussions, but I don't know. I would think so, though.
Wow. So since then, what has your life been like since then?
It's been really hard. I'm in constant pain 24/7 all over my body. It's like a burning sensation. I get stabbing pains, and it sometimes feels like it's the boy who cried wolf, because I don't know if I have arm pain or if I have pain. Sometimes it's hard to know if there's an actual injury or if it's my central pain, my nerves doing it. So there were times I had fallen and hurt my shoulder, but they were saying my central pain was making it worse, or in actuality, I actually broke my shoulder and had a broken shoulder for 10 months, and I dealt with it.
That just seems so crazy. So Alexa Randolph with us here on the MegaCast. She's the founder of the Alexa Randolph LLC, but you also are an advocate for the invisible illness. So with that, do they feel like you're making it up? And is that a hard argument to have with people?
Yes, that is huge. I've had doctors telling me it was all in my head, that I was making this up. I've had people asking me are you really that sick? I have a handicap sticker, and people look at me all the time because I look healthy on the outside. I look normal. I look nothing's wrong with me, and the truth is there's a lot wrong. You just can't see it. It's not like my arm got cut off.
Right, so you're dealing with central pain syndrome. I know that coming up is the Rare Disease Day, and one of the reasons you're here with us today is to kind of talk about that, to bring awareness to some of these issues so that we're not so judgmental in society.
Yeah, that's a huge thing, and that's actually, I think, on Sunday. I actually work with the Mental Health Collection, and we put on these mental health Zoom events. And so for our March event, which is next Thursday, March 4th at 8 p.m., it's on Zoom. We're actually focusing on chronic illness and chronic pain in regards to mental health, all in for Rare Disease Day.
So with that, Alexa, do you mind if I ask how old you are?
I'm 26.
So what is, are you able to work right now?
Not really. I can't really do much. I still have bad pains in my head, and I actually can't even concentrate a lot. I can do little bits of things, couple hours a day, but it's really difficult.
So with that, dealing with the physical pain, how is your mental health during this time? Because you were a recent graduate, ready to take on the world.
Yeah, and I had actually worked full time for about 6 months. In between, like right after it happened, like when I was just told it was depression until I got told it was a concussion. So about like 6 months, I actually did work full time, but it was really difficult because every time they told me to do something, all of a sudden my brain, I couldn't remember what it was. And I didn't know at the time it was a head injury. So, and I just thought something just didn't seem right.
So what's your day-to-day like right now?
Just honestly, like kind of depends on the day. I've been trying to do a little bit more meditation and journaling to try and kind of get me in a better place, especially because there really is no medication or treatment. So just trying to make myself feel better as mentally as I can kind of sometimes can help with the pain a little bit. It's just...
I'm sorry. What's it been like for you to share your story and go public, though? What's been the reaction from the general public once they hear your story?
Honestly, it's been truly amazing. Part of me sometimes, in this weird way, it's like I'm almost thankful for my story because I've been able to help so many people. And I've heard so many people's stories that people I knew and I didn't know they had anything going on just because they looked normal or they looked healthy or they didn't talk about it. And now more and more people are coming out and sharing stories. And that's like the one reason I have my podcast. It's because I want people to feel like they have that voice.
Tell us more about your podcast.
Yeah, my podcast is called With Love Alexa. It can be found on Apple, Spotify, pretty much everywhere you would get listen to your podcast. It's just all about invisible illness. I bring on people to talk about mental health, chronic pain, chronic illness, but also just living their best life, really like diving deep into people's stories. And I've had some amazing guests I've had some reality TV stars from Bachelor and Big Brother. I've also had Real Housewives. I've had athletes. I've had just your everyday people. I've had professionals, just anyone that has a story. It should come out.
Alexa Randolph with us here on the MegaCast. She is with the Invisible Illness Advocate. And with that, what are you hoping to be able to do with your podcast? What's next for you?
My goal is to eventually take it to public speaking. I did a little bit before the pandemic. I actually spoke at my old high school. They were doing like a mental health day. And I spoke to about 5 or so mental health or the health classes. And it was truly amazing. Like, I think high school, even middle school and college are some of the best places to speak because these kids and adults are growing and they're learning. So I would love to continue to do more speaking and to use like my platform just to get as much out there as I can.
Because when with that too, do you think it's probably, it's easier for them to receive that message because it's you sharing your story and not someone that is maybe 75 or 80 that they can't relate to because you are so young?
I think so. And I think it can help just in general because we know our bodies so much better than anyone else. And I used to always think the doctor, the professional always knew best, and I always listened. And not that they're wrong, but they don't know everything. And they don't really study chronic pain or how to deal with that necessarily in medical school, which they should. So I think listening to someone like me who's really going through something can really help others, even if it's caregivers or just people that have never experienced it. I think listening to someone.
What's your support circle like?
It's truly been amazing from the start. I have my parents who I couldn't be more grateful for. They have been my biggest advocates and never once like judged me or told me I was making this up. They've just been a constant fought for me when I couldn't fight for myself. They're always there behind me, coming to all of my events or just being there as much as they can. And my friends have honestly been amazing too.
Do you have to take any types of medication, or are you just trying to manage your pain at this point?
At this point, it's just more managing. I've been on all the different medications and honestly, nothing works right now. It's just going to see my doctors and maybe one day they'll have a new idea that something just comes out. The meditations helped a little bit because it helps to calm my mind. And honestly, a lot of these events that we've been hosting these like Zoom mental health have really been truly helpful to me. Just seeing how it's affected so many people.
Alexa Randolph joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. She is the founder of Alexa Randolph LLC, and is an invisible illness advocate. And you talk about these mental health events and how it's helped you with your chronic pain and with the mental health repercussions of your chronic pain. How has it helped the people that you have been joined by on these monthly talks, and those that are participating by viewing, whether it is live or participating after the fact? How have you noticed, or have you been told by others that has helped them on their journey as well?
Yeah, I've actually been told that it's changed a few people's lives. Like we recently had one on race. That was our last event in February, and it was talking about race and mental health. And a few people that have come, I've heard from other people saying that it changed their mindset on things, that they were going through a hard time, and being able to speak on this or to be a part of it, it's just completely changed them, just like in a snap. It's incredible, and people just keep coming back, the same people and new people, but it really warms my heart.
Well, it's great that you're able to share your story and willing to share your story as well to help other people throughout this time as well. What's it been like for you during the pandemic?
It's been hard, just because we're basically stuck at home. I think in the beginning it wasn't as bad for me because I was kind of used to having to stay home. It could be a week at a time, just because of my pain. So to me, originally it really wasn't as severe. But I think the mental aspect of not being able to see all my friends and not being able to do has been really hard. But on the flip side, my business has done really well. I've been able to reach out to so many people because of this. So it's been good and bad.
Well, we've seen some amazing medical miracles in this world. It is incredible what they're doing with the science and advancing medicine here in the United States and across the country. Are you hopeful that they'll find a solution for you?
I hope so. And if not in my lifetime, I hope it's in the next generation's lifetime.
Well, we hope it's in your lifetime as well. Alexa Randolph
nice.
with us here on the Megacast. Alexa, quickly give us your website if people want to find out more about you.
Yeah, it's just www.alexarandolph.com. I can be emailed at alexa@alexarandolph.com as well.
And I know that you also sell products on your website. And again, when is the talk coming up, the Zoom talk?
Yeah, it's actually next Thursday, March 4th. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Zoom. If you want to participate, just email me and I will send you the Zoom link.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. It's always great talking to you, and we wish you the best, and we hope that they do find a solution for your problem. A medical miracle we're wishing for you.
Thank you. And I just want to say that each and every one of us are all forever strong.